Good morning. Today we are going to start my lecture 2. In today's class, first point is unit of charge. Number 1 point, the SI unit of charge. The SI unit of charge is Coulomb, denoted by capital C. The SI unit of charge is Coulomb. Number 2, the CGS unit of charge. The CGS unit of charge is state Coulomb. State Coulomb or electrostatic unit, denoted by ESU. The CGS unit of charge is electrostatic unit or ESU. Now, what is the relation between Coulomb and ESU? You must know 1 Coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 ESU. These are the two units widely used. The third unit is the electromagnetic unit is EMU. You must know 1 EMU is equal to 10 Coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 10 ESU. This is the third unit we are having. Okay. But when you will proceed in chemistry chapter 3, you will have the largest unit of charge. The largest unit of charge. So, number 4 point, the largest unit of charge. The largest unit of charge is Faraday. 1 Faraday is equal to 96500 Coulomb. So these are the units of charge. These are the units of charge you will have to know. Now the point comes. Electric charge and mass. Electric charge and mass, although it seems they are correlated, there are some differences between electric charge and mass. Now the second point comes, what are the differences between electric charge and mass? Let's have a look. You give the heading, differences between electric charge and mass. You give the heading, differences between electric charges and mass. And I am writing here, electric charge, mass. This is our second discussion, differences between electric charges and mass. Number 1 point, it may be positive, negative or 0. Here it is always positive. Number 2, electric charge, it is always conserved. Number 2, it is not conserved. Now the point comes, mass is not conserved. What does it mean? Mass is not conserved. What does it mean? Actually, mass is not conserved. We can say mass is not conserved because mass can be converted into energy and energy can be converted into mass. That is vice versa. And that's why mass is not conserved. The third point of difference, forces between electric charges are either attractive or repulsive. Forces between electric charges are either attractive or repulsive. Forces between masses are always attractive. These are the three differences you are having between electric charge and mass. Hope you are able to understand. Now, next topic is production of charge. Next topic is our production of charge. Charge can be produced by three processes, namely friction, conduction and induction. Charge can be produced by three processes, namely friction, conduction and induction. We will go through each part, that is friction, conduction and induction. Let's have a look what charges are produced or how charges are produced during friction. You all know frictions. Just like if you rub your two hands, that is friction. So let's have a clear look. You give heading. Number 1, charges produced by friction. Charges produced by friction. So, the electric charge produced by friction is called frictional electricity. Frictional electricity. That means if you rub two bodies, charges will produce, and that electric charge produced will be considered as frictional electricity. So, more elaborately, when two different bodies are rubbed together, when two different bodies are rubbed together, what will happen? Can you tell me? When two different bodies are rubbed together, what may happen? Simple. Together, the transfer of electrons, take place. the transfer of electrons take place. One body gains electrons and become negatively charged, while the other body loses electrons and become positively charged. Becomes positively charged. So one becoming negatively charged and the other becoming positively charged. Here one thing you must know. Actually, when we are rubbing two different bodies, one body will lose electrons and the other body will gain electrons. You must know the number of electrons lost by a body must be equal to the number of electrons gained by the other body. So you will have to write it actually. Next you write the number of electrons lost by one body is equal to the number of electrons gained by the other body. So, charges lost by one body is equal to the charges gained by the other body. Charges means electrons. Okay. Now, as a whole, what will happen? One body has lost electrons and the other body has got electrons. So, what will happen actually? You write thus. Thus, charges appeared on the two bodies are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. Let me clear this. Suppose you are having two bodies A and B. A and B. Now, if you rub these two bodies A and B, you are rubbing two bodies A and B. As a result, A loses 3 electrons. A loses 3 electrons. Then clearly B gains 3 electrons. If A loses 3 electrons, then B will gain 3 electrons. Then what will happen? Automatically A will be 3 positive and B will be 3 negative. Now in the two bodies we see that the magnitude 3 is same. That is, they have equal magnitude, but one is positive and the other one is negative. So they are opposite in nature. Now the important point comes here. If you rub two bodies, how will you identify which body will be positively charged and which body will be negatively charged? That is the most important thing actually, so far as I am concerned. How will you identify which body will be positively charged and which body will be negatively charged? For simplicity, here I have made a list. 15 items are there. Just go through the 15 items and very simple idea. This is the order actually. This is the order. You will have to follow the order. Now take any two bodies. For example, I am taking glass and I am taking silk. I am taking glass and I am taking silk. If glass and silk are rubbed, what will happen? You see, glass is coming first, silk is coming later. So clearly, in this case, glass will become positively charged and silk will become negatively charged. I think you got the idea. One more example. Suppose you take silk now. You are taking silk now. And you are rubbing silk with ebonite. Now, out of these two, now silk is coming first. Silk is coming first. So clearly, silk will be positively charged and ebonite will be negatively charged. You just follow the order and you can clearly have a picture on rubbing two different objects or two different bodies, which one is going to be positively charged and which one is going to be negatively charged. This is for today's class. You follow the topics. Meet you tomorrow. Till then, good day. Bye.